Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Planescape Torment. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we go in here into the print shop. I'm not really sure. Oh, I know what I need to do here. There's a... oh, messenger. I've got a message for you to run. Here, take it and these coins. I'll be back with your receipt. This lad looks like he's in a hurry. He looks at you resentfully at you detain him. Sure. And he's obviously in a hurry to leave. Yeah, I stopped you because you were in a hurry to leave. So, who are you? He pauses for a moment, but it's obvious he's not paying attention to the words. No, he says, and leaves. Farewell then. Okay, but I'll talk to you again. What can you tell me about this area? He basically goes to that, but I'll ask everything that I can. It's weird. Okay, forget it. You go on about your way. Oh. That's weird. He went back up there. Maybe yeah. Sorry. Oh, now he's not in a hurry anymore. He smashed against Anna. Well, that makes sense then, I guess. Let's have a chat with Pen. Oh, yeah, that's right. I have something for him. That's his name. I don't know who from anyway, but I have a thing that's a pen thing. You see a thin, stooped man hunched over a desk, scribbling on a piece of paper. His hair is thinning and drab, drawn back into a ponytail, and thin spectacles adorn his hooked nose. His age could be anywhere from his early 20s to his late 40s. He doesn't look up as he speaks to you. What do you want? Make it quick. Yeah, I have a handbill apparently. From Guildspur. Trying to remember who that is, but, well, whatever. Who are you? My name is Ben Burke. And your question answers mine. You had no idea this was a printing shop before strolling in, and now you've decided to make it your personal quest to waste not only your time, but mine as well. Oh, really? You are very, very eager to draw conclusions from things that are not conclusions? He doesn't know. He knows nothing. Pen. What do you print? Books, pamphlets, not pamphlets. Pamphlets, handbills, words, letters, whatever. He amends. Though I don't do racy prints, and I won't fulfill any perversions you might want, nor do I care to ask. Oh, really? Oh, really? How about you just print me a single straight line, Because I find that very erotic, but you don't know that, because I'm not telling you this, and not asking you this either. But yeah, it's interesting, well, yeah, I'm not gonna get into that, but if he doesn't... Why wouldn't you draw two curved lines either? Just two curved lines, that's all I need. And then I'll draw in the dots later. Okay, I had some other questions then. Do they have to do with work? Yes. So I asked what he prints. What is this place? He looks sharply at you, seizing the scritching of his pen. Are you entirely dim? It's a printing shop. I print things here. Look around you. I print. Okay. So are you the one who wrote this note I found in the mortuary? Oh, I have two. That's right. I have two notes for him. Let's go with that. He takes the note from you, looks it over, and crumples it into a ball, which promptly crumbles into ash. He looks to you levelly. Someone's been defaming my good name, it seems. Now, did you want something? Aren't you worried about that defamation? Why would I be? It's just competition in Sigil. I've got a good idea of who it might be, too. And I got a little surprise of my own coming for him. Can I be of any assistance? Are you truly as stupid as you look? Of course not. Okay. So, Guildspur asked me to deliver a handbill to you so you can print up 100 copies. Oh, he takes a handbill from you, looks it over and says, I'll have it for him later. Go tell him. And he turns back to his desk. Okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't have given him the thing. I actually want to know what that is. Did I... well, it doesn't really matter where I saved. Oh. Okay, I think I have a save here for the beginning of the episode, though. 49, that was last episode. Okay, so we can go in and just look at the pen thing. Look at the... so we have basically... no, these are two other things. We have two things that are... there we go. So that's Guildspur handbill, and then there's Pen's note. This note has been written with a remarkable penmanship upon the finest parchment. Vaxis, and this is from Pen. If you are reading this, then you have undoubtedly failed in your task and have been forced to use the escape route I arranged. I told you that your little disguise idea was ridiculous. In any case, you'll need to lay low for a while. The dustmen may be deluded, but they're not fools, and they will certainly seek retribution for our intrusion. I've left you some coin. Use this to secure a hiding place in a hive, preferably in Ragpicker's Square. this is for Vaxis. I need to go back to Vaxis. The Dustman will be unwilling to look for you there. Once you have secured a new hiding place, I have a new mission for you. Find out where Farod is getting those bodies he's delivering to the mortuary. How is this defamation? Anyway, it's apparently causing the Dustman a great deal of upset, and I wouldn't mind knowing myself. Reports are that the stone-faced Dustman at the Gathering Dust Bar in Initiate Emorik is... I think the fool's name is, have been sending out finders, see if you can find, I don't want Demoroic finding out some, okay, so see if you can find out how far he is. No, this is, I'm not going to tell him about this, basically, because I don't think he's telling the truth there. I'm still going to ask all these questions over here. Okay, so who are you, what do you print, a few questions, just, you know, normal stuff. Okay. And now I need to go back to Guildspur. Okay, good stuff. And I'm not gonna ask him about that particular note.
I'm gone.
Sounds like a better ordeal. I am safe scumming a little bit, but screw that noise. Why did I have to give him the note? He just destroyed it, that piece of crap. The purpose of this device is unknown. Well, it's because this is a portal. Oh, yeah, okay. Good. Let's not mess with that then. Okay, so now I need to go to the upper ward through here. Unless Guildspur is somewhere around here. I actually don't know where he is. Was he in the marketplace? I need to get the tomb plans from the warehouse. Oh yeah, I need to get up there as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember who Guildspur was. Let me see if I can look at it in my Guildspur or something to that extent. Not here. Okay. Well, Darran. I remember getting that recently somehow, or at least I remember reading that recently, that quest in particular. Twice welcome to the vaults of the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigilian? I'd like to claim something. And what was it you were looking for exactly? I was told that I could retrieve some plans from a tomb here. Plans for a tomb? You don't look dead, sir, nor that it's any of... Not that it's any of my business. If you are, here are your plans, sir. Can I get you anything else? No, thanks. Farewell. We at the Vault of the Ninth World value your business. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's that. We have the plans for the tomb, which means... Really... Oh, I need to use them. Oh. This was the easiest thing ever. The plans would make more sense if you were in the tomb itself. You could use them direct. You could then make direct comparisons between the plans and how they were implemented. Yeah, but I need to go to the tomb, and I don't really know what that tomb is or how to get there, to be honest. Because I can't go in through the wrecked house right there. But I can go to the coffin-maker before we go to the upper ward. And the reason for that is so I can talk to this guy over here, and maybe... Oh, I didn't talk to Dimitri over there. Hammery smiles at you. Good day again, Cutter. Did you get the plans you were looking for? Yeah, I've dealt with the situation at the warehouse and got the tomb plans.
Updated my journal.
He smiles and nods. Well done, Cutter. As I said, you may keep whatever you recover from the warehouse as your reward. Thank you for your help. Well, I didn't really do anything to you, but sure. Who's your friend here? He glances at the customer. Dimitri? Huh. He shrugs like he hasn't considered the fellow before. Quiet. Doesn't say much. Do you, Dimitri? Dimitri doesn't respond, but simply gives the same blank expression. A few seconds later, he nods. Oh boy. Henry shrugs, turns back to you. Wandered in one day, a few weeks back. Been a regular ever since. He hasn't bought anything, but he hasn't bought anything, but he doesn't cause any trouble, so I let him stay. Seems harmless enough. You see, when I was serving the Harmonium, part of our work was to take people under our wing, give them a little shelter from the chaos of the streets, get them spruced up. Okay. So, can you tell me about this ward? Yes, the lower ward. He leans forward as if explaining something to a small child. You know, it's little known to most newcomers and even people in the ward. Most people think that this ward gets its name simply because it's not as prestigious as some of the other wards. But that's not it at all. Not at all. Do you know where the name comes from? He looks at you expectantly. Yes, I know, from all the lower portal planes, or lower plane portals. He nods, though he seems a little disappointed that you know. Yes, indeed. These portals to the lower planes are actually the reason for the smog in the skies here. He glances upwards, as if imagining a sky above your heads. But I'm sure you are already aware of the conditions that plague this ward. No, tell me about it. Oh, it's because of the portals of the lower planes. They are the reason behind all the smog that fills the area, belching out noxious gases and all. Fortunately, winds from the spire help to blow away the worst of the mists, but it can bring others in the ward with much weaker constitutions down and fill them full of sicknesses. Sickness, I guess. He shakes his head sadly. Fortunately, my harmonium training has prepared me for all sorts of hazardous conditions, and after my travels to the lower planes, the smog of this ward is little to bear indeed. You've been to the lower planes? Oh, apparently I can't ask that. What is there to see in the ward? He smiles broadly. A great deal, a great deal. Where to start? If we were to step past all the kilns, forges, breweries, and distilleries scattered among the many garbage fires, not to mention the alchemist's stands, the crematoriums, meat curing houses, and the charcoal burners, and examine the ward itself as a whole, one could say, well, there's a foundry, the siege tower, and he begins to falter and stop to think. Tell me about the foundry. The Great Foundry is the headquarters of the Believers of the Source, also known to some as the Laymen of Godsmen, or as Godsmen. Some of the laymen as Godsmen, yeah, because of their belief that everyone can achieve divinity. He shakes his head. The Great Foundry is much like their philosophy, a large sprawling structure that seems to produce nothing but smoke. He laughs. I mean, when was the last time you saw one of the Believers of the Source suddenly become a power? Not any time in the faction's history. Tell me about them. Actually, friend, Godsman is the layman's term for their faction. The real name of their organization is, in actuality, the Believers of the Source. They hold no interest, or they hold to an interesting, if ultimately flawed, philosophy. They believe that everyone has the capability of aspiring to divine status simply by applying themselves. He shakes his head indulgently as he pauses to think. Well, everybody has the capability of aspiring? That's not what I think, is it? I don't think so. As my tour of duty with the Harmonium quickly proved, there are many who could never aspire to divinity, no matter how long they sought it or applied themselves, he scoffs. Nonetheless, the Believers of the Source work quite hard, he shrugs, and their little faction is pleasant enough. Can you tell me about some of the other factions? He smiles at you eagerly and to talk. Certainly, my friend, I can tell you a little about the Harmonium, the Mercy Killers, or the Governors. Which should I start with? The Governors. He nods knowingly. Oh, the Fraternity of Order is their proper faction name. They're dedicated to law and knowledge. They spend most of their time simply researching every aspect of law. Now, I'm not talking just man-made laws. No, their research goes much deeper. They want to know the how and why behind everything. Because of their devotion to law, they also run the courts of Sigil and act as lawyers, judges, advocates, and such. Okay. Tell me of another faction. What about the Harmonium? He stands proudly. The primary faction of Sigil is, of course, the Harmonium. We are the faction dedicated to preserving law and order in Sigil, and there is no other more important function. Progress can only be achieved in a state of peace and harmony. There are those that think otherwise, but they don't have our resolve, and thus they shall fail. Okay, what about the Mercy Killers? He smiles. The Mercy Killers stand for justice. To them, justice is everything. It is absolute and perfect. They dedicate their lives to dispensing justice, but it must be done correctly according to the law. They firmly believe that by imposing justice on the multiverse, it can be cleansed of evil and made perfect. Okay. I wanted to ask about the other thing. But, I couldn't find the other thing, but anyway. What can you tell me about the city of Sigil? Sigil, he lets out a long breath. Sigil is the city at the center of all things, or so many believe. It is the city of doors. There are literally thousands of portals here. It is home to the Lady of Pain herself. He shrugs. Sigil is a topic that can fill volumes, and volumes of volumes. You mentioned portals. Do you know of any? He laughs. Portals? Do I know about portals? Well, none personally, except some of the more common ones. I imagine they can be found in practically every ward. Portals are funny things. Sometimes they shift around, at other times they simply seem to vanish. They're hard to keep track of. Okay. What about the Lady of Pain? The Lady of Pain? Hamris leans in and drops his voice slightly. One of the multiverse's greatest mysteries, everyone will agree. I think she's proved beyond doubt's shadow that females are the most dangerous creatures in the multiverse. He sighs. Go on. Some say she's a goddess, a power that's made her Sigil her home. Truth is, she breaks the laws of every power I've encountered. Powers need worshippers, gives them their power, but the lady doesn't like to be worshipped. Yeah, we've heard of that as well, yeah. People who do end up in her shadow, their flesh torn apart by invisible blades. Now, I've seen some horrible things in my life, things that would make another man's knees go weak and make him lose control of his vitals. Doesn't even compare to seeing one of the lady's victims. I think I've seen her myself, but then again, that might be the reason why I lost my memory. What else can you tell me? Next is, she doesn't take up to people who try and play God in Sigil. See, you may not know this, but first off, no powers can enter Sigil. Not Zeus, not Ra, no one. Word is that the lady's presence somehow keeps them out. Can't get in, not a one. And that twists their stems like you wouldn't believe. Sigil's such a sweet fruit that anyone would want to pluck, that the other powers are always looking for some way into Sigil. They haven't succeeded. Well, it goes beyond that. Not only does the lady keep them out, she keeps anybody inside the city from harming it. Suddenly she has help from our faction, the Harmonium, since we like order, but every once in a while a foolish basher takes it into their head to start fighting on the streets of the city. Maybe decide to kill a few dabbas, brew up some chaos, or start casting mass destruction spells. Not a good thing. Makes the lady upset. Doesn't like to see her city hurt. She'll kill you, or maze you, for doing such. Maze you. Yeah, you haven't heard of the mazes? He looks at you condescendingly. You're green. The lady's got extra-dimensional prisons she can place special offenders in. You see, she takes little bits of Sigil, shapes them into mazes, then cuts them off from Sigil. You'll be walking home one night, or be stepping through an archway near your home, then suddenly everything changes. You won't be in the place you remember. You'll be trapped. Chant is that there is one way to get out of each maze, but you'll be dead and gone before you tumble onto the dark of how to escape. Okay. Sounds like an interesting lady. Apparently I can't ask the other question. That's a shame. I can say this. A great deal. Okay, oh, about the siege tower. That's the thing I wanted to ask. Tell me about the siege tower. The scarred iron wreck? A word mystery it is, but I have some thoughts on it. First off, it wasn't always here, as I understand it. It simply arrived one night and no one saw how it got there. Now, you've seen the outside of it? I've seen the battle, and I've seen battle, and it looks like battles that most people could not imagine. Me, however, I've seen the edges of the Blood War, even tackled a Tenari fiend or two when things were desperate with only my Harmonium fellows beside me, and those scars on the tower look like they were gathered over several centuries at least. He pauses for a moment. Now, listen close. My experience allows me to recognize some of those scars that decorate the sides of the tower. Some are acidic blasts, surely enough from some major sorceries. Some are Tenaric teething blades. Others look like detonations from Loth globes or scars from Batizu Kornogum whips. However, a lot of the weapons embedded in the sides are weapons like none I've ever seen. I'm well versed in a variety of weapons on many different worlds and on many different planes. Makes you wonder what's held inside a tower. Basher, who cracks that tower, might have a museum in their hands. Makes you curious, doesn't it? Yeah. Maybe the foundry has something to do with it, actually. That guy was talking about entropy and all that sort of stuff. You know, I mean, I'm saying this because the guy in there is a he's got his own foundry, effectively. Yeah, I must be going. It's also interesting that this guy over here knows so many things and has been to the lower planes as well. You see a tall, slender man with a glassy-eyed expression. He seems engrossed in some tale that his shopkeeper is relating. Occasionally he nods his head, but makes no comment on his own. Greetings. The man turns slightly at your greeting, but enough to acknowledge, or just enough to acknowledge your presence. You notice that he's a little pale of complexion and rather gaunt looking. He is giving you a blank stare. The shopkeeper does not seem to notice any of this and continues with his stream of useless prattle. Are you alright? The man continues to stare at you and slowly nods. You wait for any further response, but he says nothing, only stares. You are about to turn away in frustration when you think you notice a strange musty odor from the man. Did he just... I'm gonna step closer and sniff. You lean in and sniff at the man, unsure what you'll find. As you do, a musty odor fills your senses, an odor you recognize from your time in the mortuary. It is the smell of dead flesh preserved by magic. You're a zombie, aren't you? The creature continues to stare at you blankly, slowly, as if with great effort he begins to reply to you. Only your speak with dead powers makes him understandable. Yes, I am. Dimtree, he says. So he talks to... He talks to the dead as well. This guy is more than he seems. Why are you here, Dimtree? Dimtree slowly glances at the shopkeeper and makes a feeble gesture towards him. Seeing this as a sign of interest, the shopkeeper redoubles his efforts in telling whatever tale he is relating to the poor creature. Dimtree looks at you again. Hamriz, he talks. Hamriz never stops. Wanders down. Annoys Master, annoys everyone. Master create Dimtree. Tells Dimtree talk Hamriz. Now Hamriz stay in shop. Master happy. Town happy. Dimtree sad. Oh, is there anything I can do to help you, Dimtree? The creature pauses, then resumes his slow speech with you. You can almost detect a pleading tone in his voice. Yes, fine, Master. Sebastian. Ask him. Release me, please. He turns his attention to Hamriz momentarily. Please. Why don't I just... No, let's not do that. Yeah, farewell. That's... Can I talk to Hamriz and tell him what's going on? No. Okay, well, let's go to Sebastian. We know where he is, so might as well just go there. Although I'm still in this place, Sebastian is over here, and I would like to know where the other guy is, the other guy that I need to talk about the copies and all that sort of stuff. He might be in there. I'm gonna go to the open air market. Sebastian, hey man. Sebastian gives you smiles at your approach. Good day, Cutter. Have I completed your quest? Yes, and I've come from what is due me. One moment, please, Cutter. Sebastian reaches into his robes and removes a small crystal ball. He gazes into it for a moment before returning his attention to you. I cannot thank you enough, Cutter. I shall give up to my part of the bargain. Are you ready? Yes. It's done, Cutter. Once again, I thank you. And Sebastian bows deeply to you. Thank you and farewell, Sebastian.
Updated my journal.
Okay, so he increased my charisma permanently for 2. Nice. Very nice, actually. So what he did was fix my scars. And the quest that I had for him... that I need to go over here and look over here. Get evidence. I did that already. Learn the way. It's Mabeth or Mabeth or whatever. Get... Oh, Gisquirrel. Oh, I know where it is. He's not here. If that's for Mabeth, then it's not here. It's in the other market. In the upper wards or whatever those... In the Hive, I think. Let's see. Mabeth, Anna, Angyar for the key... Find a skull of great value. I don't know. I don't remember what I did, but I do remember having a quest for him. Oh, I can't... Good day, Cutter. How may I help you? Oh, boy. That's not good. How can I do that quest, then? I still don't have it, though. So it doesn't surprise me that I can't do the quest. Did I get in here? Oh, that's the wrecked, yeah. Wrecked house? But it has a name. Let's have a chat with him again. Yeah, there it is. You, please, you find Sebastian, release me. Yeah, I'll help you.
Updated my journal.
You can almost sense a feeling of relief emanating from the zombie. Dimtree, thank you, friend. So where can I find Sebastian? I know where it is. Okay. Now he doesn't know. Interesting. Yep, it's a good thing we came in from this side. I think it is the only way to come in from, but sure. Now, at least we can talk to Sebastian. Hopefully he's not going to be upset with me, because if he attacks me, then it might be a little bit, yeah, let's have a chat with him. Sebastian smiles at you. Good day, Cutter. How may I help you? Actually, I wanted to talk to you about Dimtree. He stares at you for a moment, then sighs. What about Dimtree, Cutter? Well, that was a job well done, but he wants to be released from his curse. He gives you a surprised look and then waves you off. I find that hard to believe, Cutter. Dimtree doesn't have the mental power to desire anything. He frowns for a moment. Did that idiot Hamriz put you up to this? Think about it, Sebastian. Hamriz doesn't know how Dimtree is a zombie, let alone who created him, right? He sighs and seems to... Well, he could know that, but sure. Sebastian sighs and seems to be deep in thought. Yes, you're right, of course. Hamriz could not have sent you. I guess poor Dimtree is more aware than I intended. A pox on me for my stupidity. So we will release him. He looks at you for a moment with conflicting emotions crossing his face. He sighs and throws his arms up in exasperation. I cannot. Sorry. He gives you a pleading look. I want to, mind you, but I cannot. I fulfill the contract by creating... Oh, that's right. This guy's the one that always fulfills the contracts. I fulfill the contract by creating Dimtree, and I cannot break it. Right or wrong, I am a man of my word. My reputation demands it. Okay, so I understand the dilemma. Let's see. So we have 2 truths to tell and some other things. Let's see. I understand your dilemma and agree with you. Could I release him instead? That's a good point. Oh, that's a good thing. I really don't give a rat's arse. No, let's not go with that. Who contracted you? Maybe I can get them to agree to his release. Yeah, I think that might be a little bit better. Yeah, let's go with that, because I want to get to the bottom of this, and maybe I can convince them that Hamris is not really that bad for telling his stories. He smiles at you. I am magically... Oh, yeah, he's not going to tell me that. I forgot about that. I'm magically bound not to reveal such information, Cutter. That is why people come to me. They know that if I accept a contract, it will be handled with discretion. Or discretion. Understand. Okay. Can I release him instead? That would be difficult. He turns and begins to look through a nearby box. After a moment, he removes a book, which he sets down in front of you. First, you'd have to have some magical aptitude. Second, you would have to be able to properly speak the words you find on page 23 of this book. Go on. Last, you'd have to touch Deionarra just as you feel the power of the words culminate within you. He turns his back on you and rummages through another box. I couldn't allow you to read that book, however. It'd be tantamount to my breaking my word through the actions of another. He continues, poking through the box, ignoring you. Okay, I'm gonna read the book.
Updated my journal.
Because that's what he just did. I think I have what I need. Sly. Sly and underhanded. But fair, I suppose. I'm not really sure if that works, but apparently that works. His magic is not as strong as one would think. So let's have a chat with Deionarra. Deionarra turns to face you slightly as you approach. You can feel a sense of expectation in the air about him. You find Master? Deionarra release? Yes, Deionarra, I know how to release you now. Deionarra turns to face you and gestures towards you. Please, friend. I'm gonna speak the words Sebastian taught me. You pause to gather your thoughts and then carefully speak the words Sebastian taught you. You then reach out and touch Deionarra lightly on the forehead. Rest well, Deionarra.
Updated my journal.
With a sigh, the zombie collapses at your feet. You think you hear a fleeting... Thank you, friend, as he falls to the ground. Aww.
I'm gone.
Well, he's gone. But, yeah. Well, hello there. In the market for a coffin yet? No, apparently he doesn't care about Deionarra. Sure, I must be going then. Well, I wonder if I can talk to Sebastian and tell him that...
All right.
That is done. I think that is done. It's not even here, so it should be... Yeah, release Deionarra. Still, let's have a chat with Sebastian and see if I can tell him anything about that. And he's gonna be curses! How could you know that? I forbade you! Yeah, but I can't tell anything. Okay, well, that means that's the end of this particular episode in particular, but of this particular area of particular. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Planescape Torment. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.